Go
before.
ahead.
Okay. So with the argument from contingency, I think that I think we're obviously increasing a lot more like from the philosophical literature to like this idea that there's like a necessary being, undercase letters, but there's like this idea of like the gap problem that we'll see
Yeah.
a lot. And like so like when you attack the gap problem, maybe like an elevator pitch in a few minutes or so, like how do you get from like just say believing like, oh, there is some sort of necessary foundation for all of reality to like the idea that it would come to like a God who's like, omnipotent, omniscient, all these like attributes that we typically give to God.
Yeah, I would probably start to think about it in the way that philosopher Peter Van Inwagen put it. First of all, if you tell your typical atheist that there is a fundamental grounding of all contingent reality, that is something he will not be in itself not very comfortable with, right?
Mm-hmm.
This sounds, as I said, already a little bit like theism, right?
A
The
little
but there are, of course, other arguments. For example, here's the question: if something that is necessary, right, and
bit.
this is the grounding for contingent facts, and you have to think about why, if this thing is in itself necessary, how can it ground facts that may or may not have been, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible? If it simply entails these facts, then these facts would be just as necessary as the grounding of them.
Mm-hmm.
If, and we can put this in possible worlds rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a necessary entity entails certain facts, that means necessarily implies them, then they are true in every possible world as well. But then they wouldn't be contingent facts in the first place, right? So, one way out of this is, of course, to embrace libertarian free will or contra-causal free will, to think that this entity, this necessary entity, is free in a certain sense to bring about certain facts and not bring about other facts. It could have brought about a certain tree, but it was actually free not to do so. And that is actually an explanation for why certain facts are contingent, what other facts are necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That would be something that I would think. Now you have a necessary being, a necessary entity that is free with respect to its decisions, right? And that brings you very, very close to a personal nature of that necessary being.